Hi, my dear students. I hope you guys are doing well. So, this is the second practice session, and the RC we have picked for today's discussion is really an interesting one. आपको मजा आएगा ये सेट सॉल्व करके. So, let's get started. जब भी आप इस तरह के लेक्चर्स देखते हैं जहाँ पे प्रैक्टिस सेट्स होते हैं, the idea is that you should parallelly solve the RC. So, just don't sit and relax and watch it like a regular video. Try to solve it parallelly. That will bring you more learning, and that will be effective understanding of the intent that goes behind creating these videos. Let's get started. My name is Juhi Narula. So I will give you sufficient time to read the passage. In case you would need more time, my suggestion would be that you can pause the video and take as much time as you would want to do the mapping. राइट, मैपिंग कैसे करनी है इसका एक डिटेल्ड स्ट्रैटेजी वीडियो है. यू कुड रिविजिट on the video section and you'll find that particular video in case you're finding trouble in dealing with the passages. I'll stay quiet so that I do not disturb you. So let me try explaining this particular paragraph to you. It's a common misconception. So the author begins with the paragraph by discussing a misconception. The what is the misconception? That the historian's task. So if we talk about an historian, then what is the primary task? That is thought about. So that's a wrong conception that we have. To act as a neutral chronicler of the past. तो past के actions को एक neutral perspective से आपको पहुंचा देगा. Stitching together facts into an objective tapestry of what truly happened. So with an objective point of view, right? No subjective analysis, no personal opinion. As it is, the information would be provided, or it is actually the job of historian to do so. This is a misconception, right? So the idealized notion, so the so-called idealized version hai, while appearing to those who wish to separate knowledge from ideology, rest on shaky foundation. So the foundation is principle ki, that is shaky, that's not very solid. Historians, like all interpreters of human actions, select, emphasize. So what actually historians do, आप idealism में क्या expect करते हो, and actually what happens is they select, emphasize and arrange events through frameworks that are shaped by present concerns, moral values and cultural assumptions. So what is the reasoning? How do they act? That has been explained. Indeed, the very act of choosing which sources to consult or which narratives to foreground presupposes a standpoint. So there's a perspective behind it, there's a reasoning behind it, there's an influence behind it, right? Now let's read further. You can take more time if you would want. Let me explain this to you. This is not to say that history is merely a subjective exercise or that all interpretations are equally valid. So, we're not trying to say that every interpretation is valid and it is just a subjective perception, right? वो तो कह रहे कि objectively तो कर नहीं पाएगा historian, कर नहीं सकता, right? वो तो idealism में grounded है, उसकी shaky foundations है उस belief की. But अगर आप ये कह दो कि history is just a subjective exercise, then that's also not something which the author is saying uh, we cannot validate. The danger lies in mistaking one perspective. तो जो आप एक perspective पे जा रहे हो ना, that is basically having just one sided opinion. That's troublesome. The danger lies in mistaking one perspective, often the dominant one, for the truth. So where is the danger lying as per the author? Some such objectivity has frequently served to legitimize power structures, sanitize operation and erase subaltern voices. और फिर ऑथर ने इस पॉइंट को जस्टिफाई करने के लिए एक बहुत बड़े एग्जाम्पल भी दिया है. So colonial histories presented themselves as factual accounts of progress. अब मैं हिस्टोरियन में मेरे को जो चीज लगती है कि मैं अपने आप को वैलिडेट कर सकती हूँ, राइट? मैं आपको अपने आप को दोष मुक्त कर सकती हूँ. आई कैन सेट माई सेल्फ फ्री. मैं अपने ऊपर कोई ब्लेम नहीं ले रही. तो दैट्स हाउ आई कैन प्रेजेंट द इंफॉर्मेशन. और इसी का एग्जाम्पल देने के लिए ऑथर ने कहा कि जो कोलोनियलिज्म था उसमें कैसे प्रेजेंट हुआ कि भाई उन्होंने तो फैक्चुअल अकाउंट्स जो प्रेजेंटेड थे, राइट, वो तो अकाउंट्स ऑफ प्रोग्रेस थे, सिविलाइजेशन थे. ऑल वाइल मास्किंग एक्सप्लॉइटेशन. छुपाया क्या गया? एक्सप्लॉइटेशन को मास्क किया गया, राइट? सो नाउ इफ it is, if the historian is driven by his own understanding, her own understanding, that subjectivity hai, so then it is in the hands of historian, no, how to manipulate the information provided or to, how to show that data, right? So वही idea presented है कि आपने exploitation को mask कर दिया, cultural वायलेंस को आपने इग्नोर कर दिया या मास्क कर दिया बीनीथ लेयर्स ऑफ इंपीरिकल लैंग्वेज, राइट? Now let's read further. Now let's take a look at this particular paragraph. What is needed then is not the abandonment of historical inquiry. So now author has given you the problem statement. Now the author is providing you the solution, that what should be done. Right? What's the solution to it? That it is not the abandonment of historical inquiry but a reflexive historiography. And what is that? One that interrogates its own methods. Interrogates matlab finds out, right? Questions its own methods and is transparent about its assumptions. So what is expected? Ab hona kya chahiye? What is the next step, right? We have understood the problem, we have acknowledged it. What should be done? What is the need of the hour? Acknowledging the inescapable partiality of historical accounts enables us that only to scrutinize the motives behind certain narratives, but also to democratize the historical record by making space for marginalized perspectives. So, if you understand that there was some bias, there was some partiality, you acknowledge this particular aspect, then it would help, right? So, how would it help? It would enable us so that we can scrutinize, we can observe carefully that what could have been the reason behind certain narratives that have been provided to us. And पॉसिबली दिस कैन ऑल्सो हेल्प कि भाई अगर एक मेजोरिटी का पर्सपेक्टिव ही हमें मिला तो हम ये फाइंड आउट कर सके, वी कैन मेक सर्टन स्पेस, वी कैन ट्राई टू कंसिडर टू गेट द पर्सपेक्टिव ऑफ मार्जिनलाइज्ड कम्युनिटीज, राइट? तो अब हिस्टोरियन ने वहां के राजा के गुणगान कर दिए और आपको पता है कि इस हिस्टोरियन का पर्सपेक्टिव बायस्ड है, तो आप क्या कर सकते हो? इफ यू एक्नॉलेज इट कि हिस्टोरियंस कैन हैव, will have, or probably there's a good possibility that their perspective might be influenced, might be biased, तो यू कुड ट्राई टू स्क्रूटनाइज कि अच्छा राजा के अलावा वहां पर जो कॉमन मैन था उसका क्या पर्सपेक्टिव था, एटलीस्ट यू कैन गिव दैट पर्टिकुलर थॉट, राइट? So, ironically, it is only by rejecting the myth of absolute objectivity. And इसमें ironical क्या है? That you have to reject this भ्रम of absolute objectivity, that history can become a more honest and inclusive discipline, right? So, interesting perspective. Now, let's take a look at the first question. I will step aside, do your own reasoning, try to validate the answer. So what is the primary purpose of the passage? When you take a look at this particular question, question पूछ रहा है कि objective of writing क्या है, goal of writing क्या है. तो अब अगर आप एक एक करके आंसर चॉइस को इवेलुएट करोगे, टू डिफेंड द रोल ऑफ हिस्टोरियंस एज न्यूट्रल रिकॉर्डर्स ऑफ फैक्ट, सो देन दिस इज एन इजी एलिमिनेशन, राइट? द पैसेज इज नॉट सेइंग कि सारे हिस्टोरियंस न्यूट्रल पर्सपेक्टिव रखते थे. ऑथर तो कह रहा है बायस्ड पर्सपेक्टिव होता था, राइट? तो ए कैन गो आउट. To argue that all historical interpretations are equally biased and unreliable. Now again, see, we cannot say that all were equally biased, so that's something which will be extreme in nature. So, coming to the next choice, to critique the illusion of objectivity in history and advocate for self-aware, inclusive historiography, wholesome तरीके से पूरे passage को consider करता है. तो जब भी हम primary purpose का question करेंगे, we will look for an answer which covers the entire passage holistically. तो C we can definitely keep, right? So the author in the first paragraph is challenging the notion of objectivity, and then in later discussion he suggests that reflexive historiography is needed, right? A self-aware critical historic method is necessary, you can get a better perspective. See, we can keep, to propose a new model of historical analysis focus solely on subaltern voices, ये बहुत narrow हो जाएगा. Passage में discussion हुआ है कि there should be inclusion of subaltern voices, but that's not the sole focus, right? And then if we come to E, to highlight how colonial history is uniquely distorted, तो सिर्फ colonial histories का again example दिया, but सिर्फ उसी के लिए पूरा passage लिखा गया है. This again makes the choice weak, right? So you can so this is too narrow to be considered as the right answer. And then the goal was not to just say that how colonial history was tweaked, it was just one aspect. As an example, this idea was floated, right? Again, all historical interpretations are equally biased, we cannot say, or historians को neutral तो बोला ही नहीं है. This is reversal of what the author says. So what can be the correct answer that we can go for? This will be choice C, right? तो आप देख रहे हो, every time I solve the question, अगर आपने previous practice sessions भी देखे हैं, तो I deliberately try to tell you that which particular aspect of the answer choice is a trouble area, right? And that's practically what you need to do also while you are doing questions on your own. Identify what is wrong with each individual statement. अब जब आप हर स्टेटमेंट में फॉल्ट फाइंडिंग करोगे या ट्रैप समझने की कोशिश करोगे या आपके पास रीजनिंग आ जाएगी कि व्हाई द स्टेटमेंट इज रॉन्ग, यू विल बी एबल टू reach to the right answers, you'll be able to understand the fabric of the exam, you'll understand the game effectively, right? Chaliye, so let's take a look at the next question. Okay, so the answer is there in case you would want the detailed description of it. Now, this is an inference question. You need more time. You can pause the video, solve the question, then resume watching it. Which of the following can be most reasonably inferred from the passage? So, taking a look at the first option, any historical narrative that claims objectivity should be rejected outright. So, if you take a look at it, the author critiques objectivity, but it is not outrightly saying that any historical narrative should be rejected, right? Again, when we talk about inference questions, the options have to be slightly mild in nature, right? But outrightly reject तो author नहीं validate करता. Historians should prioritize current moral standards over past evidence. इसको कहते हैं distortion of the language, right? Misrepresents the passage. So the focus is on transparency, not prioritizing present values blindly, right? So B can also go out. Historical narratives are always influenced. तो वो कह रहे हैं कि आप biasness को छोड़ नहीं सकते. Always influenced to some extent. Now this is something which is tricky here, and that is what we need to understand. हो सकता है कि आप प्राइमा फेसी ऑलवेज देखें तो आपके दिमाग में घंटी बजे कि मैम ने तो एक्सट्रीम चॉइस कहा था, बट अगर आप ओवरऑल ऑलवेज का यूसेज देखेंगे सेंटेंस में तो आपको समझ में आ जाएगा कि माइल्ड स्टेटमेंट ही है, राइट? ये ए को कंपेयर करेंगे क्योंकि ये आई एम श्योर ये डाउट आएगा, इसलिए ये ऑप्शंस इस तरह से क्यूरेट किए गए थे कि भाई दिस इज एक्सट्रीम, राइट? दिस चॉइस गोज आउट, दिस इज डिस्टॉर्शन ऑफ इंफॉर्मेशन, this also goes out. Now coming to see, historical narratives are always influenced to some extent. So there is an influence but not entirely. There is influence, इसमें तो कोई शक नहीं है, पर किस एक्सटेंट पे ये वेरी करेगा, राइट? सो टू सम एक्सटेंट मेक दिस चॉइस एक्सेप्टेबल इन नेचर, राइट? So by the context in which they are produced, reflexive historiography eliminates all form of bias. Again, author is saying it is a solution, but it will give you a remedy and everything will be sorted. Itna strong promise nahi kiya hai. The inclusion of marginalized voice guarantees historical truth. It doesn't guarantee, right? Chaliye, so now let's take a look at the next question, which is the tone question. So if we take a look at this, the author is critiquing the conventional history, right? पर वो कंस्ट्रक्टिव ऑल्टरनेटिव भी दे रहा है ऑफ रिफ्लेक्सिव हिस्टोरियोग्राफी. तो डिटैच तो नहीं है, व्यू पॉइंट और परसेप्शन दे रहा है, फिर इल्यूजन भी नहीं है, एक्यूजेटरी नहीं है, राइट? क्रिटिकल है, एक्यूजेटरी नहीं है. क्रिटिकल येट कंस्ट्रक्टिव को आप रख सकते हो. प्रोवोकेटिव एंड सिनिकल, तो प्रोवोकेटिव तो नहीं होने की कोशिश कर रहा हूँ, और सिनिकल होना होता है जब मैं अनसर्टन हूँ, डाउटफुल हूँ, सनक हो रही है मेरे को. So author believes in improving historiography. It's not wanting to, abandon it. तो unsure नहीं है उसके बारे में. And passionate and militant को आप use ही नहीं कर सकते. ठीक है? So the language is assertive. The language is not radical in nature, right? So which choice will function rightly? We can go for C as the right choice. Now there is one question that you can take as your homework, right? So why do I always leave one question for the homework? So that you can revisit the entire passage. You can understand that where you could have performed better, कहाँ पे आप mapping ज़्यादा effectively कर सकते थे, right? So it gives you another chance to take a look at the RC with a different perspective, right? So that's something which you should do diligently and seriously. I'll step aside so that the question is visible. You can take a screenshot of it. You can pause the video, solve it, and do leave the answer in the comment section. So I hope you really liked the video. You learned a lot. Keep working hard, stay consistent. All the best. God bless you.